Now let's continue with question number 9, part 1 of M.L.Aggarwal from chapter Quadratic Equations of class 9. The question is 6x plus 29 is equal to 5x. Now for making calculation easier, we have to remove x from here, from the denominator. So for doing that, we can multiply both sides by x. So if we multiply with x on the left hand side, we will get the result as this, which is x in bracket 6x plus 29 is equal to 5 divided by x into x. So here, if we multiply by x, x and x will cancel out and we will be left with 5. X and x will cancel out. And if we multiply it by here, we have to multiply x with 6x and x with 29. So if we multiply x with 6x, we will get 6x square. And if we multiply x with 29, we will get 29x. So our equation will be 6x square plus 29x is equal to 5. Now we can transpose 25 to the left hand side. We will get the result as 6x square plus 29x minus 5 is equal to 0. Now this equation is in the general form of quadratic equation, which is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now we have to split 29x into two such numbers such that their product is 6 into negative 5. The coefficient of x square 6 into the constant, which is negative 5, which will give us negative 30 and sum as positive 29. So the two numbers can be 30 and negative 1, as 30 into negative 1 will give us negative 30 and 30 plus negative 1 will give us positive 29. So we have our two middle terms, 30 and 1. Now let's split 29x. So after splitting, we will get the equation as 6x square plus 30x minus x minus 5 is equal to 0. We can take 6x as common from 6x and 30x and negative 1 common from minus x and minus 5. So after simplifying, we will get 6x in bracket x plus 5 minus 1 in bracket x plus 5 is equal to 0. If we take 6x common from 6x, we will be left with x. And if we take 6x common from positive 30x, we will be left with positive 5. If we take minus 1 common from negative x, we will be left with positive x. And if we take minus 1 common from negative 5, we will be left with positive 5. As if we multiply negative 1 with positive x, we will get negative x. And if we multiply negative 1 with positive 5, we will get negative 5. Now we can clearly see x plus 5 is common in both, so we can take that out. And the equation will become 6x minus 1 is multiplied by x plus 5 is equal to 0. Now we can take either of the brackets as 0. Let's take 6x minus 1 is equal to 0. So 6x will be equal to 1 and x will be equal to 1 by 6. If x plus 5 is 0, then the value of x we will get will be x is equal to negative 5. So we have our two values of x, 1 by 6 and negative 5. Hence we can conclude that the solutions or roots of the equation are 1 by 6 and negative 5. X plus 1 by x is equal to 2 whole 1 by 2. So from here we can take x as LCM and we will then convert this mixed fraction into an improper fraction. After taking x as LCM, we have to multiply x with this x as it has denominator 1, and this one will remain 1 as it has a denominator x. Then after converting this mixed fraction into an improper fraction, we will get the result as 5 by 2. Now for making this equation to solve a bit easier, we can multiply by x on both sides. Now if we multiply x with LHS, we will get this expression as the result, and now we can cancel out x from here. And if we multiply x with RHS, then we will get the result as this expression. After simplifying, we will get x square plus 1 is equal to 5x by 2. Now we can multiply by 2 on both sides to remove this 2 from denominator. So if we multiply 2 with LHS, we will get the result as x square plus 1, as 2 will be multiplied with this whole term. And if we multiply 2 by RHS, we will get this expression as the result, and we can cancel out 2 from here. Now we multiply 2 with x square, we will get 2x square, and 2 with 1, we will get positive 2. So our equation will be 2x squared plus 2 is equal to 5x. Now we can transpose 5x to the left hand side. After transposing, the required equation will be 2x squared minus 5x plus 2. Now our quadratic equation has come in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So now we can continue to split the middle term. Now we have to split this middle term into two such numbers such that their product is 2 into 2. Their product is constant into the coefficient of x squared, which is positive 4, and sum as negative 5. So the two numbers can be minus 4 and negative 1, as minus 4 into negative 1 will give us positive 4, and negative 4 plus negative 1 will give us negative 5. Let us erase this all ink here. It's making a fuss. So now we have clear screen. Now we have to split the middle term. After splitting, we get the result as 2x squared minus 4x minus x plus 2 is equal to 0. We can take 2x common from 2x squared and 4x, and we can take negative 1 common from x and positive 2. After simplifying, we will get the result as 2x in bracket x minus 2 minus 1 in bracket x minus 2 is equal to 0. If we take 2x common from 2x squared and minus 4x, we will be left with x minus 2, and if we take negative 1 common from minus x and 2, we will be left with x and negative 2. So x minus 2 is common in both. We can take that out. 2x minus 1 multiplied by x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now we can take either of them as 0. Let's take 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Then 2x would be equal to 1. And the value of x would be equal to 1 by 2. And if we take x minus 2 as 0, then the value of x will be 2. So now we have our two values of x, 1 by 2 and positive 2. Hence we can finally conclude that the solutions or roots of this equation are 1 by 2 and 2. Hope you understand, and thank you for watching. Now let's begin with question number 10 part 1 of M.L.Aggarwal from chapter Quadratic Equations of class 9. The question is 3x minus 8 by x is equal to 2. So we can take x as LCM from here. After taking x as LCM, our equation will be 3x squared minus 8 upon x is equal to 2, as the denominator of 3x is 1, and we'll multiply x with 3x, which will give us 3x squared, and minus 8 will remain minus 8 as the denominator is x. So 3x squared minus 8 upon x is equal to 2. For making the calculation easier, we can multiply on both sides by x. After multiplying by x on both sides, we will get the result as 3x squared minus 8 is equal to 2x, as x into this x in denominator will cancel out, and 2 into x will give us 2x. Now we can transpose 2x to the left hand side. The result which we will get will be 3x squared minus 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. Now we have our equation in the general form for quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c. So now we can split our middle term. Now we have to split the middle term into two such numbers such that their product is negative 8 into 3, which is equal to negative 24, which is constant into the coefficient of x squared, negative 8 into 3, which will give us negative 24, and sum as negative 2, negative 2. So the two numbers are negative 6 and positive 4, as negative 6 into positive 4 will give us minus 24, and negative 6 plus 4 will give us negative 2 as sum. So we have our middle terms, negative 6 and 4. Now we can split minus 2x. After splitting, the result which we will get will be 3x squared minus 6x plus 4x minus 8 is equal to 0. So we can take 3x common from 3x squared minus 6x and 4 common from 4x minus 8. After simplifying, we will get the equation as 3x in bracket x minus 2 plus 4 in bracket x minus 2 is equal to 0. If we take 3x common from 3x squared, we will be left with x. And if we take 3x common from negative 6x, we will be left with negative 2. If we take 4 common from 4x, we will be left with x. And if we take 4 common from negative 8, we will be left with negative 2. As x minus 2 is common in both, so we can take that out. Then the required equation will be 3x plus 4 in bracket x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now we can take either of the brackets as 0. Let's take 3x plus 4 is equal to 0. If 3x plus 4 is equal to 0, then 3x would be equal to negative 4 and x will be equal to negative 4 by 3. If x minus 2 is 0, then x will be equal to positive 2. So we have our two values of x, negative 4 by 3 and positive 2. Hence we can finally conclude that the roots or solution of this given quadratic equation here will be negative 4 by 3 and positive 2. Let's continue with question number 10 part 2. The question is x upon 3 plus 9 upon x is equal to 4. So we can take the LCM as 3x. If we take the LCM as 3x, we have to multiply x with x, which will give us x square, and 3 with 9, which will give us positive 27. So our equation will be x square plus 27 upon 3x is equal to 4. Now we can multiply both sides by 3x to remove this 3x in denominator. After multiplying on both sides by 3x, the result will be x square plus 27 is equal to 4 into 3x, as 3x into x square plus 27 upon 3x in will cancel out 3x and 3x, and we will be left on the right hand side with 4 into 3x, which will give us x square plus 27 is equal to 12x. Now we can transpose 12x to the left hand side. Then the equation will become x square minus 12x plus 27 is equal to 0, which is in the general form of a quadratic equation, ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now we have to split minus 12x into two such numbers such that their product is 27 into 1, 27 which is the constant, into 1 which is the coefficient of x square, and the sum as negative 12. Negative 12, those two numbers should give the sum as negative 12. So the two numbers can be minus 9 and negative 3, as minus 9 into negative 3 give us positive 27 and minus 9 plus negative 3 gives negative 12. So we have our two middle terms minus 9 and minus 3. Now after splitting minus 12x, we will get x square minus 9x minus 3x plus 27 is equal to 0. We can take x common from x square and 9x, and we can take minus 3 common from minus 3x plus 27. After factorizing, we will get the result as x in bracket x minus 9 minus 3 in bracket x minus 9 is equal to 0. If we take x common from x square minus 9, we will be left with x minus 9, and if we take minus 3 common from minus 3x plus 27, we will be left with x minus 9. As x minus 9 is common in both, we can take that out. Then the equation will become x minus 3 into x minus 9 is equal to 0. Now we can take either of them as 0. Let's take x minus 3 is equal to 0. Then the value of x would be 3. And if x minus 9 is equal to 0, then the value of x would be positive 9. So we have our two values of x, 3 and 9. Hence we can conclude that the solutions or roots of this given equation here are 3 and 9.